This is an exclusive interview with the 419grind.com.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Welcome to this special edition of the 419 Grinds with Tempest Van Gogh and the Vigilante story.
I remember when I had nothing and nothing left to eat. No money in my pocket, smoking cigarettes and weed. Worrying about losing little man and I ain't getting no sleep. Rent was 30 days late and I was in the deep. They don't know me anymore, I'm ghosting through the floor. Playing Matador with demons I knew before.
Tempest.
Yes, sir.
So, the name Tempest Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
Well, and a weirdo answer would be God. I got the name Tempest. See, I did music for a while, and I stopped. I got the name Tempest in the Bible. I was reading a verse, couldn't tell you what it was. And then later on, I revisited the verse, Tempest came up. What a tempest is, it's a severe storm. A hurricane, tornado, monsoon, anything you really don't predict coming, and it just come through and tear shit to shreds. That's a tempest. That's me for a long time. I've been that type of personality. Turmoil, dismay, melee. Internally, I've been really messed up for a long time. Tempest was the best way to describe me. But I'm a Gemini, so it's tempest. I had no balance.
Right.
So it was just like overpouring. And I made a lot of decisions in life that weren't good ones, and it led me up to the Van Gogh finally. I spent 20 years doing graphic design. You know, I started doing graphics in school.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just designing for like the teachers and stuff like that. I always wanted to be a musician. I won all these awards and things in poetry. So the Van Gogh never came until guys like, look, you've mastered these. Now you can take on that mantle. Now, if you know who Van Gogh was,
Right.
he was a lunatic that didn't get recognized for his art until after he died. Most people in today's society, rappers, Nipsey, look at Nip. Nobody really talked about Nip until he died. Now, everybody was hip to Nip before he passed on. Nip is such a legend. R.I.P. to Nip. You know what I mean? I don't want to end up like Nip. I want people to be like, look, like, this guy was a mastermind. And that's where the Van Gogh comes in. So when you put them together, the Gemini sides, Tempest, which is the storm and turmoil, and you put the Van Gogh behind it, I use my worst storms to create my best masterpieces. And now I feel normal.
You feel normal?
I feel normal. Like, you know how people search their whole life for that balance, Jesse?
Yeah.
Some people just don't get it. It's like, people don't realize if you got that void in you, it's a gift. It's a seed God planted in you that you haven't allowed him to harvest yet.
Right.
That's that void. And right now I feel like I've been doing everything I can to water and nourish that seed that he's planted. Hard work, ethics over a course of time, being patient to get to this point. And now it's like when you have full trust in the man above and your creator, what else can go wrong? Nothing. Like,
right.
And that thing's about to fall again. We're going to have problems with this curtain come down today, I think.
So what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for being alive. Like right now, I'm thankful for this opportunity to sit down with you. I don't feel like God makes mistakes.
Right.
I'm a suicide survivor. I tried to kill myself back in 2004.
Okay.
I spent 2.5 weeks in a psych ward at Flower Hospital. I tried to take a whole bottle of Tylenol 3s at almost 1:30 in the morning over a woman and over my insecurities. When you spend 2.5 weeks in a hospital surviving, killing yourself, you figure out who's who in your life.
Right.
People were popping up I never thought would be around. People I thought would show up didn't. That's a hard lesson to learn, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you were almost in the ground, and people you wanted to come and see you
Didn't come. Wow.
So I'm grateful just to be alive. I'm grateful to be able to say something that helps somebody else and helps them prevent that from happening. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wanted to ask you. I know the last 3 mixtapes you did were Vigilante.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
What is a vigilante? For those people who don't know.
Oh, man. See, I'm a geek, and you're a geek, too,
Yeah.
so we get it.
Right.
A vigilante is a hero that isn't a hero.
Anti-hero.
That's it. Like, he's got a vendetta, like something really fucked up happened to him. You know what I mean? And he's out to heal himself, number one, and number two, he's out to make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else.
Right.
You'll see the all these things I'm going to talk about today it's vigilante shit. Like, I don't want nobody to be homeless. I don't want anybody to ever go without power. I don't want anybody to ever go broke. I don't want anybody to ever get robbed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all these things that irritate the living shit out of me, I don't want to happen to other people. That's what a vigilante is. That's why you had Batman. He lost his parents.
Right.
Then now he hunted people, but he always had a rule, no killing.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I always think about that. Now, if someone says something about me, I consider where that is, right? I look at myself as a bright light. You can't throw shade on a light.
Right.
So I dismiss shade. That's what Batman does.
Okay.
That's why I don't kill anybody.
Right.
I don't respond to stupid shit. Green Arrow.
Same
Green
thing.
Arrow spent 5 years on an island. He had to fight every day just to stay alive. I fought every day to stay alive in Florida. Like, a vigilante had to lose something to get to where he's at. Like, you literally go crazy, and that's kind of like your catalyst.
Right.
It's what propels you forward to do that. Me in Florida, I built an empire. I had a company. I was hired by AT&T to do their consulting work. $100,000 a year. I had my dream woman. I had my son. I had the perfect life. I lost it all. Do you know why?
What is that?
I was an alcoholic.
Wow.
You don't make good decisions on alcohol.
Right.
You can't make a good decision on alcohol. So if you know you can't operate with it, stay away from it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I left that alone. So I lost all of that because really what I was trying to do is self-medicate. That was it. I just wanted to feel better.
Right.
I grew up without a dad. Like, my dad wasn't around. He don't know how to love. I get it. So I just love my dad from a distance. You learn these things.
Right.
But how I learned how to be a man is hanging out in the hood.
Yeah.
I don't hang out with people that look like me. It's different. That's another vigilante thing. Like, everything going on with the Black Lives Matter movement, that shit breaks my fucking soul.
Yeah.
Because I see some of my best friends take bullshit from people.
Yeah.
Back to Florida. Lost everything. Had to move in with the guy that was callous, overbearing, insecure, and he was one of those people that was in so much misery they tore me down every day. Mm-hmm. The guy would show. I ended up going to jail. My ex left me for a married guy. It's still fucked up. If you walk in on the love of your life, literally in the act with somebody, it's gonna break your soul.
Yeah.
So I feel for anybody who's been in that situation. My son had to suffer from it. She kept me from my kid for 2.5 years.
Wow.
So that's why you see Little Man everywhere. If
Yeah.
you look at any of my branding, you gonna see Little Man because I went without him so long. I gotta have him with me.
Yeah.
And I'm here and he's down there. And he's not a talker. He don't like being on the phone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You lose your kid, bro.
Right.
Especially what a son does for a father is he reminds him what was good about childhood. And you want to make sure all that bad that happened to you doesn't happen to that little person.
Yeah.
They look like you, they talk like you, they act like you, all of that. It's your responsibility to make sure that precious little human being grows up to be an upstanding individual.
Right.
Now, a mother, I treated her bad. I'm not saying I'm not to blame. I did some fucked up shit to her. You know what I'm saying? So I deserve probably most of it, but not my kid.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I see him every day on this branding, man. I'm like, man, like, I get it. You see what I mean? So The Vigilante story, that's where it comes from. Vigilante 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, he's undercover. And he's literally pissing. Because not too many people know this. I think maybe 1 or 2 people know this. That picture of him was taken at the church that was across the way from where we stayed.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the first time I got to pick him up in over 3 years.
Wow.
So I was just astounded. I'm like, oh my God, my son's peeing with his pants at his ankles. This is awesome. I'm like, what? I need to not let this happen again. This is bad. You know, I'm like going through all these emotions.
Right.
And I was like, I like that shit. My son inspired the whole vigilante concept. He's like, he don't give a damn. He just doing what he need to do. He in there peeing.
Right.
Pants at his ankles, butt hanging out. There go the curtain again. But you see what I'm saying? I had to put the heart on it.
Yeah.
Because at first my mama was like, you can't put that out with his butt out there. I'm like, you're right. So I put the heart on his butt.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, I'm here. I'm just doing my thing. Vigilante 2, you see his pants were up. Mm-hmm. So he's learning now.
Right.
He's got his hands up like, look, Dad, no hands. And that was me, like, he's me in the series growing up.
Yeah.
Learning about myself. So that's the coolest part about having him in there. And he's got my mannerisms.
Right.
Vigilante 3, that's my favorite. He's up there on the wall and he's shitting.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's doing. You see, he got Iron Man up there.
Yeah.
I need you to pull that up and look at it. He's got Iron Man covering himself, but he's shitting. And we're not playing around on Vigilante 3. That's why I put him. He's right in front of Toledo.
Yeah.
Outside of Toledo. Like, he's like, I really don't want to be here. I'm past this. Like, I've been here before.
Right.
I got arrogant on Vigilante 3 a little bit. Then we went to the coldest winter ever. So my depression hit really bad. Mm-hmm. And if you look at that cover, he doesn't have a coat on. He's there cold. But you can see him heating up and melting the snow around him.
Okay.
While he's watching memories, while I'm watching memories of him in the coldest winter ever, I'm reminding myself he's the reason I'm doing this music thing.
Yeah.
When I first got back, I had one hoodie. I was in Florida. It was cold. Like, I froze to death every day. Like, I had to beg my manager. I'm like, bro, can I please put a heater in the studio? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I was the coldest winter ever. And all I talk about the whole entire time is everything that I went through up until that point and why it was the coldest winter ever for me. Then pandemic hit on 420. We have 5 records on pandemic. Little man's got a gas mask on because I didn't want him to get high. That's the whole reason he got the gas mask on. I'm like, baby, put this on. You see what I'm saying? So it's like letting him know, like, I care about your decisions as a kid, but daddy's got to come over here and do this real quick. Now, Trailblazer, I've got a picture of him as an infant. And his hair was like this long. That's why I haven't cut my mohawk.
Oh, okay.
Since I got back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cut my mohawk until I see my son. It's some weird stuff, and I don't even care. But I remember his hair was about this long.
Yeah.
When he was born, he had a full head of hair. So he's sitting there in his little seat, and he just like this, drooling on his face, not knowing nothing, but his hair everywhere. He looked like a Super Saiyan. So I'm cartoonizing him, and putting him on Trailblazer. Everything behind him going to be burnt to shit. Because he finally went Super Saiyan, he realized he had it from birth. That's the Vigilante story.
So that kind of answered my next question, which is, why are you the vigilante?
Yeah, same reasons.
Yeah.
I'm the underdog, and I have to fight for the underdog.
Yeah.
Anybody I see going through it, I try to help. If you're not helping somebody, you're using your gifts wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Short answer.
So you moved to Florida after being here for a while. Mm-hmm. So you moved to Florida, and why did you come back here?
Yeah, it was that life fell apart thing. Towards the end, I had a sales job. Mm-hmm. I sold air purifiers, and products were dope. And I just didn't see eye to eye with one of the owners. Like, something never felt right. You know what I mean? And so, like, God kept pulling me away from that. I started spending more and more time in the studio. I was working less and less. I wasn't getting any appointments, and I worked on commission.
Right.
And then he's like, all right, cool. I got you. He started feeding me graphic design customers left and right. And I don't know, like, I started doubting or something. And then power got cut off. I'm literally laying there in my bed. I've got the fan on, and I hear the fan cut off. And that day it was 103 degrees. I got the AC on with a fan on. I hear the fan and the AC shut off. You ever feel your heart sink into your chest?
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean, in your stomach?
Yeah.
It was that day. And I looked outside, and sure enough, he was the electric guy. Well, what would happen is my roommate at the time, he left. And my credit was crap because I had $30,000 in loans on a company that I tried to keep afloat that didn't stay afloat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm working so hard to pay these guys back and take care of my kids. It's very hard to do that when you don't have any money coming in.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she had me going through child support and everything else. Like, I'm on E in my car. I've got to figure out how to pick my kid up. I'm digging through the couch trying to find change. We're talking net level. Graphics just wasn't paying for everything.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like they're either going to take all my stuff or I'm going to try to keep the stuff I can. His power went. When he came by, I put him in the bed with me with both fans on us. The only reason we had electricity is because we were taking it from the next door neighbor. I had to run an extension cord all the way from the damn studio, all the way through the apartment, all the way out the back, through the laundry thing in the wall. I did Vigilante 2 with no power, no fans.
Wow.
I was using theirs. That's how I did it. I recorded the whole, and I was like, I stopped being so picky. I'm like, it's too hot. Like, can you imagine recording like you just went into a pool with no towel, but hot?
Right.
That's what it was like recording in that bitch.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now no AC doesn't bother me too much. You dig what I'm saying? I'll just take my shirt off. Like, God put me through all that because he's like, look, bro, you was not humble at all. I'm going to really humble your ass. Dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The brokenness came with it. If you go to bed without eating, you ever go to bed without eating? Your stomach rumbling? It just rumble, get louder and louder and louder, and you can't sleep. You toss and you turn, bro. I don't ever want anybody to deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So if people come at me for favors, where the hell was you at when I couldn't eat, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I was begging people to please pay your invoice so you know what I'm saying? Just pay your invoice,
Yeah.
please. Now I don't do any work without the work being paid.
Right.
I don't care if people think I'm an asshole or not. It's like, come on, man. And I had to take care of him. So now, whenever I get money, he get $100 first every week. Period. Because I didn't have it.
Right.
Money ain't shit. Because I'm used to not having it. What am I going to do with it now? I'm not money motivated. I'm other people motivated. If I have $5 fucking million right now, you know what I could do for the homeless here? You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot.
That shit's insane, bro.
Yeah.
I don't mean to veer off. Like, this shit pisses me off so bad. Like, people don't get it. And then the next door neighbor actually confronted me on the power thing. They moved in because there was nobody over there.
Okay.
It was cool. And then they moved in. They seen the extension cord. See, I really went somewhere and came back. And he said something about it. He's like, so what's up with that? I'm like, how am I supposed to explain that shit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I literally packed up everything in my apartment. I put everything I could in my car, bro. Everything. By 8 o'clock in the morning, I was back up again. I had a really nice fold-out futon I wish I still had. It was expensive as hell. I took that mattress and slept in the front room. Everything was packed up. 8 o'clock in the morning, I was on my way back here.
Wow. So when you got back here, you dove into music even more? Or how?
You see this studio?
Yeah.
It's like an artist's dream, bro. I wake up and like my favorite place to create is 5 feet away. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this didn't happen like that. Like I had to stay with my mama. Nobody wants to stay with their mama, bro.
Right.
But like my mom's so dope. Like she let me build a studio in my room. Yeah. Now, granted, turn that music down. Damn, mom, come on. Like I had to go through all that all over again. You want to be mad for real in life? Live with your mama. Right? And then I had to live with her husband. It's his house. And I didn't know the dude like that for real. Like, I didn't know my boundaries or nothing. Like, he got in my face hardcore one day, bro. I'm like, yeah, I can't fight his ass because I'm stuck.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So then luckily I have really good friends. God always had good friends for me. I just didn't realize it because I've always been in my own way.
Right.
You know, Sly Guy, that's my best friend, manager. He's like, bro, just stay with me, G. He's like, focus on building your empire back up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now,
that's where we at now.
You've dropped a lot of music since you got back. Like, how many records have you dropped?
Well, it wasn't since I got back. Let's see. I dropped Vigilante 1, April 1st of 2019. I dropped Vigilante 2 on Calix's birthday, which is September 11th, 2019. I dropped Vigilante 3 on December 25th, Christmas Day, 2019. I dropped The Coldest Winter Ever, first day of spring, which was March 20th.
Right.
2020, and I just dropped Pandemic, 420, Smoker Holiday. So within that span of time, I'd say it's probably, 13, 14 months, 49 records. Most people don't even put out a whole project in a year.
Right.
And I will tell people this, like, I don't like to brag on music. I don't put anything out. If it's graphics, if it's branding, if it's marketing, if it's music, if my name goes on it, has to be dope. And all 49 records I listen to all the time.
I noticed on every logo for yourself, as far as Tempest Van Gogh, Vigilante, and basically all your mixtape covers, there's an exclamation point behind everything. Why is that?
Ask me what the name of my new album is.
What is it?
Trailblazer.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it have an exclamation point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loud, bro.
Yeah.
I'm loud all the time. Like, I get excited about music. So if I'm telling somebody about a new record, it's going to be loud.
Right.
I'm probably going to scream it at them. That's why it has an exclamation point.
Yeah.
And who else is doing exclamation points?
Not many people. Not anybody.
You might see an exclamation point here or there. Music industry might get enthusiastic for a tad bit.
Right.
But not the whole time. I'm always enthusiastic about this music shit.
What about your graphics? Your graphics, like, are you as enthusiastic about the graphics? And
it depends on the client.
Right, yeah. Because there's a feel to it. It's artwork, yeah.
It depends on the client. Like, some clients are dope. Like, they really appreciate it. See, people aren't really going to appreciate a graphic designer until they do work for other people and have to deal with they shit.
Right, yeah.
Like, one of my videographers, DeVay, she's so dope. Like, she ended up getting to the show about an hour early before we even got there Friday. I sent her 20. I said, buy yourself some drinks. People don't do that for video people.
Right, yeah.
She had fun. She got to network, do all that other good stuff.
Right.
You got to take care of people.
Yeah. What is your style of music? Like, do you have a specific genre, or like what do you think you sound like? Or is there a sound that Tempest sounds like?
Man, I would literally have to say I have my own genre. Like, every time I upload something, I always have to put it under new age. And I don't even think that's right. Like, because I don't sound like anybody. I have different cadences. I like to sing on stuff. I like to really rap on stuff. I like to use weird voices on stuff. Like, literally, when a record evolves, for me, it's whatever voices are in my head.
Right.
Sometimes they ain't good voices. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they come out the way they are in my head.
Right.
So when you hear a record of mine, you're like, damn, that shit was different. But then something will catch you and bring you back to it. So I wouldn't say I sound like anybody. But I am my own favorite artist because of that.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Yeah. Van Gogh, baby.
So what's next for Tempest Van Gogh?
Grinding. You know me, I stay working 16-hour days. I'm on the 419 grind.
Right.
Yeah. Always, bro.
Yeah.
I had to go through and revisit my dream board. You know what a dream board is? Vision board.
Yeah.
You put all the stuff you want to accomplish on it.
Right.
I started acquiring these items to put on that. Like I sent my girlfriend, I sent her a picture of this beach house. And she goes, what is that? I was like, that's my dream house. You know what color it is? It's turquoise on the beach.
Wow.
Crazy thing about Pensacola, bro, is you cannot buy land in Pensacola Beach. You have to rent it from the city.
Really?
Yeah, it's a peninsula. So literally, like, if you live on Pensacola Beach,
Right.
it's like a long-ass peninsula. It's like a road. Houses on this side, houses on this side. The one I want is on this side, on the sound side, right there on the Gulf.
Right.
So dope. I need about $800,000 for it.
Wow.
I need that house. And my mama needs this house on River Road in Waterville. That's going to be about $350,000. So I need that for her. So that's what's next. You dig what I'm saying? And in the process, get my kids back, man. Like, I didn't really talk about my daughter, but that situation is 80 times worse. So it's like,
Wow.
I don't even want to get in there. I'll start crying on this interview because that shit has just tore me apart. Court battles, all that stuff, bro. Like, and then it happened again with my son. Like, women don't do that shit to kids. They grow up like me.
Right.
You date a really fucked up man, chances are he saw some really fucked up shit happen up in his life.
Yeah.
Growing up, product of his environment. What also is next is I'm going to make as much change as I can. Artists want to get back into artist consulting. It's cool because I get to engineer for some people. Shout out to Boom the Bomb. He always come by with his records. He trusts me to handle his engineering mixing for him. So his project in the works, I say coming next. Tiny and I are working on a group project. That's going to be crazy. I'm going to leave the name for later. Sly dropping. The rest of our camps dropping. Records. Everything else, man, is like sky's the limit.
So what about doing a podcast? Have you thought into that? I know you.
Yeah,
we kind of talked about it before.
Yeah.
Well, you had an idea. Have you considered like actually starting
You
it?
never gave me the okay on it.
I mean, that's on you, man. I mean,
This is what I want to do. Smoke session with Tempest Van Gogh. So what we do is we pass 3 blunts, be about an hour, and we were like, all right, this is what's happening. Let's talk about that shit. This would be super lit. Talk
Right.
about real life shit.
right?
That's what I would do.
Okay,
And I think people would tune in.
it would.
Yeah.
It would. Put a logo together, and we'll collab on getting the details put together.
Oh, it's 111.
Yeah.
Let me make a note to myself. I have ADD, so I have to do notes on everything. I literally have to put a dry erase board up with my customers or else I forget. You ever wear like 1,900 different hats? Like, most of them don't fit, but you still try to shove that bitch on anyway.
Right.
I know how to do this. Like, that's my problem. I have a big problem with trust issues, bro. I don't trust anybody to do anything. And it's sad because it's just sad. I wish I did, but man, you had so many people stab you in the back, my G. You bleed out too many times. You never fully heal from that. So you're like, nope, I don't want to deal with that again. So you end up coming off as callous when really you just want to help people and you get misunderstood.
Right.
Smoke session logo. Yeah. What else? Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. You're dealing with Tempest Van Gogh right now at the 419 Grind, the exclusive interview with the Vigilante.
I wear a pair of Air Forces that you can't walk a mile in. I'm damaged, take things for granted like Nick Cannon, I'm wildin'. I have abandonment issues for misuse and I'm violent. I'm undone, look, someone just...
Thanks for watching this exclusive interview with the 419grind.com.
DNA, stop stalling, tell me what the problem really is. If I'm all in, if there's really drama, I am shooting rockets to the dang sky is falling down. Mushroom glass all around. It's just melee, and all that they say calm it down. I am too much of a parasite for me to follow crowds.